everybody. Hi. Good afternoon, good evening, where you are. My name is Kanta Rose Woolley. I'm the International Officer here at the university. I'll be the host of this webinar, and I've got Kate with me.
Hi everyone, I'm Kate. I work for the international office, so I will be on hand to answer any questions if you have in the chat box, and I will join you later during the discussion with Natasha and Cantaros. Lovely to see you.
Thank you, Kate. And we have a special guest here with us, Natasha, who's our current MSc Financial and Investment Analysis student. Natasha, do you want to introduce yourself? Oh, we may have lost signal. That's what happens with technology nowadays. Oh, are you
You
there?
are on mute. You are on mute, Natasha. Yeah,
Can you hear me now? Sorry.
Yes,
yeah.
we
Right. Okay.
can.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Natasha. How I'm doing financial and investment analysis, and I'm a student ambassador here in the University of Northampton. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're from Philippines, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah. I'm from the
Yeah,
Philippines.
from
I
the
just arrived
Philippines.
last September. Yeah.
Nice. So you started in September, and you said you're
Yeah.
graduating or finishing your study in
Yeah. I'm
August.
finishing my modules in August. If I get a placement, I'll finish next year around September as well.
Yeah. So your course is a master's with placement year, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's
Yeah.
lovely. Okay, so yeah, the session today really is to give applicants and offer holders, because I know some of you are offer holders, some of you are applicants, you're still waiting for your offers, or some of you are just finding out more about the university and considering whether you want to apply. Uh, this session really is for all of you, is to find out what life is like to study at the University of Northampton. And I think it's best that we ask Natasha to share all those experience, straight from the horse's mouth. She's a student herself. I'm sure she's got a lot of experience to share with you. We are also supposed to be joined by Anusha from Malaysia, who's also a current student. She's studying psychology. She will be joining us in a moment. She's just having technical issue. And Afana from Indonesia, I hope she can join us. Some technical issue as well. So this morning or this afternoon is quite difficult for them. So well, hopefully they'll join us later. But yeah, so today is an opportunity for you to really ask any questions that you have. It would be nice if some of you type in the comments where you're from, so we really, get to know you a bit more, and maybe the course that you have applied for or thinking of applying. Just a quick kind of type to say, where you're from, so we can say hi. Okay, so we'll just start with a presentation, and we'll talk as we go, and we'll kind of invite Natasha to share her experience as we go as well.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so some of you are probably wondering, should I accept my offer right now? I've got a couple of choices, university choices you're thinking about, but hopefully this session will give you more a reason why you should accept the offer and join us. So first reason is the location. So you all know, hopefully know by now, where Northampton is located in the middle of the UK, just 1 hour from London, and just 1 hour from pretty much, major cities. So I want to ask Natasha this, actually, Natasha, um, being based in Northampton, what towns and cities have you been so far in the 7 months that you've been here?
Yeah. So I've been to London, Birmingham, Coventry,
Mm,
Oxford, and I've gone
okay.
down southwest as well, Brighton and Crawley. It's a really nice location and very convenient also by train and bus to everywhere, especially in England.
Nice. So you've been so many places already, and is it because it's quite convenient, right, to be in the middle and just travel back?
Yes, and also as a student ambassador, I'm doing UCAS fairs and yeah, UK University Study
Oh,
fairs as
okay.
well. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So how did you find that role, this student ambassadorship?
Oh, it's really nice. I meet a lot of fellow students who are also working part time as student ambassadors, and I get to travel as well for free. I went to Brighton, I went to London as well for UCAS fairs, and I get paid for that
Yeah.
aside from enjoying my work and yeah, telling others about the University of Northampton.
Yeah, that's amazing. So yeah, like Natasha, you get an opportunity to find part-time jobs, which we'll talk more about later on in the presentation. But yeah, some of you are probably going to really want to, hear from you. How did you
Yeah.
find it, and what's the pay and all that? But we'll touch on that. So yeah, so easy to travel to Northampton, as you can see here. Now, if you were to fly in, you would probably fly into Heathrow. Some students fly into Birmingham. Some students fly into Stansted or Luton. So, Natasha, where did you fly in from when you first come?
I arrived in London Heathrow last September.
Okay, yeah. So as you see here, the map, we actually show you how easy it is to actually get from Heathrow Airport to University of
Mhm.
Northampton. Now, we recommend that when you join us, you pre-book a taxi. It's just so easy, especially if you're flying from Southeast Asia, whether it's in Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, places are so far away. It's probably more than 12 hours, so you can be tired. So we really recommend that you take a taxi. It's safe. It's affordable if you share with other friends. But if you don't want to, there's trains that you can get from Heathrow into London, and then from London, Euston to Northampton train station. It's about 1 hour and 11 minutes. So Natasha, did you get taxi or did you get a bus or train?
I boarded. I actually went to my friend in Swindon for a week before they drove me to
Ah,
Northampton. So I'm lucky I have friends here in the UK.
yeah, I noticed that a lot of students have friends that they want to visit first. So
Yeah,
um, I think before you start your course, you have a week or two before that you
yeah,
can maybe arrive early and then get yourself familiar with the UK, the weather, and then you can come and join us. Um, but yeah, once you get to the Northampton town in the train station, which is right in town, you can actually walk. It's about 15-minute walk or 10-minute cycle ride to Waterside campus. So you can see here the map that we were showing you. So close, you can walk. But actually, if you come from taxi, then you can just arrive straight into your halls. So Natasha, do you want to kind of share your first impression, like when you actually arrive and step in onto our Waterside campus?
yeah. So I arrived. The first time I stepped my foot in Northampton was during my enrollment. I had to do a face to face, and it was a really nice campus. I didn't know what to expect. I thought it was only very good in the pictures, but it's really nice. And it's really the university is really modern and new because it was just opened this 2018, and
Mhm,
I love everything inside, especially the silent study area and the height, especially the outside view. It's really nice. And yeah, Northampton also, I like how quiet and laid back it is.
mhm,
um and there are a lot of things to go to, like shops, pubs, restaurants, places to
mhm.
visit, and it's really nice going around. And
Yeah.
if I like to go travel somewhere, it's yeah, just like what you said. It's just 1 hour by train to London, 1 hour by train to Birmingham as well.
Mhm.
And very
Absolutely.
strategic location. Yeah,
Yeah, and as you can see here, so, you were saying it's quite nice, it's quite
yeah,
quaint, it's lots of greenery. So here's some pictures that we you
yeah,
kind of give you an example, just a taste of what it's like to study here. The Northampton town is actually quite an old town, right? So
yeah.
did it surprise you, Natasha, when you first kind of saw Northampton, how old it is? And
Uh, Actually, no, because I didn't know what to expect.
ah,
I just wanted to surprise myself, and I really liked it here. Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
always
and
felt safe walking around. Yeah,
absolutely, you can walk pretty much anywhere, right? Because it's not a big place, right? Um,
yeah,
so Northampton actually has 900 years of heritage in leather and boot making as well. So you'll see lots of kind of references to shoes and leather making. You can visit the Northampton Museum to have a look around and see our heritage. But yeah, from the picture here, that's the kind of what you can expect to see, the kind of more greenery around our campus. There's lots of attractions as well. There's Delaprey Abbey. Have you been there, Natasha?
yes. I actually just walked with other students to the around the lake last week. It was
Hmm.
a very nice sunny weather. We walked around for 1 hour.
Yeah,
College.
you can't
Yeah,
really predict the weather.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so Delaprey Abbey is just behind our waterside campus. That you can actually cycle there, you can walk there, and it's lots of nice grounds and picnics. There's an afternoon tea shop there and a cafe. Just checking, Kate, has Anusha and
I
Afana?
I think
Hi.
Anusha is here with us.
Can you
Ah,
guys hear me?
yes,
Yeah,
we
we can.
can. Yes,
Oh,
we
okay.
can.
That's great. That's great. Sorry, I couldn't log in with my laptop, so I had to use my
Yeah,
phone.
no worries. So, am I talking to Afana right now?
No, Anusha.
Anusha.
Anusha, sorry,
Yeah.
Anusha,
Yeah.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm good, good. So, Anusha, do you want to quickly introduce yourself, the course that you're doing, where you're from?
Yep, sure. Sounds great. So hi, my name is Anusha. I'm currently doing my third year in psychology at the University of Northampton, and I'm from Malaysia.
Ah, lovely. So we've got Natasha with us, we've got Anusha with us now. So you guys, if you have any questions, these are the perfect opportunity to ask our current student anything. Right. It's good that you hear from me because I work here and I'm here to kind of help you with your journey, but it's so much better to hear from students themselves. So I assume Afana's not able to join. Okay, that's a shame. But we'll carry on with just Anusha and Natasha. So sorry, Afana, you couldn't join us. Okay, so let's maybe look at the attractions of Northampton. What when you're here, what can you actually do? Because we have a lot of attractions that you can visit. When the weather's nice in the summer, or when the weather's kind of not nice, you could actually go around with umbrellas. As you know, the weather in the UK, there's some rain, there's some sunshine. We'll talk about that and how you can prepare yourself for that. But with Northampton, we have lots of attractions like the Coton Manor, which is north of Northampton, here in the picture. Um, we've got Orthorpe House also, which is the family home of Lady Diana and the Spencer's family, their childhood house. Abington Park, quite oldest park, a very popular park. So I'm just going to ask Anusha actually, have you been to any of these places, Anusha, that we're showing at the moment?
No, actually, I haven't had time to go look around Northampton because I think my friends and I we keep going out of the city and the town, so we
I
keep
see.
exploring nearby places. But we were thinking like once the weather gets a little bit better, we're gonna like
Yeah,
go around
true,
Northampton and
true,
look around.
true.
So,
Yeah, because
yep,
when you arrive here, it's going to be a kind of autumn time if you're joining us in
yeah,
September. Autumn,
yeah,
and the sunlights are kind of quite short sunlight in the day, so a lot of students actually don't get to see a lot until kind of the summertime.
that's
Um,
true.
yeah, I mean, when the weather's better, or there's lots more flowers and trees and things like that. So I reckon that in the summertime and springtime is like the right time now to go and see around Northampton. But Rushden Lakes is actually all weather, kind of all year round place that you can go to. It's a shopping area if you love shopping. There is Rushden Lakes, and also in the city, in the town centre as well. There's lots of shopping choices. We've got Cineworld, Cinemax. We've got alfresco dining by the lakeside. We've got lots of shops in Rushden Lakes as well. Um, and we've got 78 Derngate, which is quite interesting. This is the first Art Deco building of its time back when it was built. So lovely to see. You can actually visit as a visitor. You can buy tickets and see and look around. If you love architecture and you love design and interior design, this is quite a heritage that's quite interesting to see. Then we've got Castle Ashby. I really recommend that it's just about 10-15 minute drive away. You can get a taxi there, or you can rent a car. It's a lovely ground with the orangery, with garden centre. You can walk around inside. So yeah, when you come and study here, lots to see. We've got Northampton Museum Art Gallery as well. What about you, Natasha? Have you been to any of these places yet?
I've just been to Abington Park
Mm-hmm.
and Northampton Museum and Art Gallery. I might visit these places next time because the weather is getting better now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Now is the time, isn't it, to really
Yeah.
get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about the campus. Natasha gave us a sneak peek on what she thought about the campus when she first arrived here. So here it is in real life. So you can see the actual short kind of clip just walking around the campus. It's been built in 2018, like Natasha said. So you can expect to be in a modern environment. The campus itself is got a very kind of community feel. We've got, it's designed to promote sustainability as well. We've got a sustainable low carbon campus and supporting digitally transformed university. So I want to ask Anusha first. What was your first impression of the Woodside campus when you first arrived?
I think the first thing I thought was how modern it was, and I really liked that. Yeah, and I walked in, and I remember it was just really pretty because when I came in, it was still, I think, like autumn time. So the lake, the gardens, they were all really pretty. And I remember my mom and my uncle, like they were looking around and they were like, "Wow, the campus is actually really beautiful," especially the library because we did a lot in the learning hub itself.
Yeah.
I think during orientation and stuff. So I got to explore the library and check like all the different levels and the
Mm.
amount of books that they had, especially psychology books, because yeah, it was just really interesting to like look around and it was really beautiful.
Yeah, and is it different to what you're used to back in Malaysia, or quite similar, or what is it like compared to back home?
I think building wise it is pretty similar, but I think my university in Malaysia didn't have as many like greeneries and like walking space as the University of Northampton.
Hmm. And what about you, Natasha? What did you like most about the facilities?
Yes. So my university in the Philippines is quite old. It's a state university, so there's not much space as well. Not much green and
Hmm.
trees around. Yeah, and not much
Oh,
restaurants as well. Yeah, so it's
that's
really nice
interesting.
being here.
Interesting. Yeah, yeah. So it's nice that you guys enjoy the greenery because that's what we designed the campus for. So you guys have lots of place to relax, to study. Because greenery is so important for your mental health as well. It's not just about studying; it's about kind of taking a break from it as well. So on campus, we have, like Anusha said, 24/7 library span across 4 floors. You can pretty much access the library any time of the day. If you've got a deadline to meet and you want to kind of just get all your essays or your thesis or your dissertation out, you can just go into the library. It's got a silent room as well, silent section. We've got laundrette, we've got supermarket, we've got the mini mart, we've got post office, ATM, hotel as well for your family to come and stay. Has any of your friends or family visited already? And both of you did they stay in the hotel or did they go stay somewhere else?
Oh,
Yes. Oh, sorry. You can go first.
that's all right. Yeah. No,
Yes.
so yeah, I didn't have family here, so I don't have any feedback about the hotel.
Oh,
Sorry. Yeah.
okay. What about you, Anusha? Did your family come and visit? How easy was it to stay around and visit you?
I would say
No.
it's really easy because, yes, I did have family come and visit. I do have an uncle that lives nearby, so for the most part, they did stay there. But when we did move into the university itself, my parents did stay at the university hotel, and they really liked it, especially coming in from a university and being part of like the campus itself. They were
Mm,
really like surprised by how nice it was. So that was good. And also, in case that there's not enough like space in the university hotel, there's also like a premier inn that's really close by. So that
yeah,
they were like looking at that as options as well. So yeah, I would say it's like
absolutely.
really easy to like book a place here if you have
Nice.
family visiting.
Yeah. So, like Anusha said, you've got Ibis and also Premier Inn as well for if you have friends or family coming to visit, it's so easy to book it or just stay on our campus, which is really convenient. And then here are some more pictures of the inside of the Learning Hub, which is most of you will spend time in the Learning Hub because it's a faculty of business and law, faculty of health and society and education. But then the faculty of arts and science and technology are in a different building. So yeah, most of you who want to study business, psychology, or finance, or accounting, most of the time will be spent at the Learning Hub here or the Senate as well. Okay. So let's talk about student support, because a lot of you are probably are worried. You're an international student, you're a long way away from home. What if you have any issues? Who are you going to turn to? Who are you going to talk to? We have so many support systems. We have teams that are dedicated to different types of issues that you have. We have international student support team. We have the Changemaker Hub to help you with your career, residential life team that are there 24/7, security team, look after your well-being and your safety, as well as the learning development services and the faculty, academic librarians and academic support team to help you with any academic issues, or personal tutor as well, and so much more, as you can see here. And we have been voted the top 10 in the Human University Mental Health League table, recognizing us for the support in terms of mental health support that we provide to our students. So I want to ask Natasha, have you used any of the support service listed here? How do they help you? Or maybe you haven't used any of the support service because, it's fine as well, you haven't, but it's nice to know that it's there, right?
Yeah, I've actually used Changemaker Hub. They helped me structure my CV, and I've attended their employability skills workshops and module, which is really nice. It helped me improve professionally and as personally as well. I've also, yeah, I think for international student support, I just mostly work with them as an ambassador, and the what do you call this? I also booked appointments for my assignment when I needed help for feedback and referencing and just feedback on how my assignment goes, because I usually do my assignment earlier for feedback before I submit it to my lecturers.
Oh, I
I
see.
think it's in the learning development.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
learning
yeah,
development or the academic support services team, isn't it? So
right.
yeah, for each student will have a personal tutor. You will also have an academic support
Yeah,
team member as well to help you with your assignment, your essay writing, or anything
yeah.
like that. What about Anusha? Have you used any support services available? What was your kind of main concern when you came here as an international student, and how did you reach out
Um,
for help?
I think my main concern, like coming here, was especially coming here as a final year student. I just wasn't sure how I was going to integrate into like my cohort, and so I think that was like my main concern. And I was also getting like very anxious about it, which is why I kind of reached for support like through my personal tutor, as well as a mental health like associate as well. So I got to get a lot of support from them. So I did have a therapist at one point in the University of Northampton, and I really loved it because you have the opportunity to do it like face to face. You can do it online. You can do it over a phone call. So they make it very easy for you to do it no matter how, like where you are or whatever you're going through. And also, yeah, I feel like as a final year student who's doing my dissertation, the personal tutors were so helpful. They helped me integrate into my like classes a lot easier, and also like I feel like the students and the lecturers here are very helpful. So no matter what, like you can always reach out to them. And yeah, I also got a lot of support from Rest Life as well, especially when it comes to like my accommodation and if I have any issues regarding that. And also like the support team and helping me with like statistics and maths and anything in relation to psychology. So yeah, I think I used a lot of the resources to kind of help me like settle down in Northampton. So I'm really grateful for that.
That's lovely to hear. It's not just about the academic support. It's more than that. It's personal support as well. In terms of you've got assist team, mental health team, we've got residential life team. So all of these people are there for you to reach out, and it's nice to hear as well that Anusha, you reached out and used many of our services. Because it will help you while you're here to make the most of your experience, right? To make it a positive one. So yeah, lovely to hear. So this is a video of the Changemaker Hub that Natasha was talking about, because Natasha, you're doing masters with placement, right? So
Yes.
the placement year, the Changemaker Hub, will help Natasha with CV writing, with interviewing techniques, and places to look for jobs and internship and so on. So this is available to all students, not just master's student who have a placement year. It's available to everyone who wants to develop their career, their employability when they finish. They also often organize careers fairs as well. So throughout the year, we have what is called Careers Week. Did both of you join the Careers Week? Has it happened yet in your time? Natasha, did you notice there was careers fairs going on this year
Yes,
yet?
I actually attended one. Yeah, there were a lot. It's like a job fair. There were a lot of employers around the Learning Hub. It was a good time to talk to them and explore opportunities,
Yeah,
especially in looking for placement. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So, they invite lots of employers in the area, industry speakers, people in the network of the program lead, the tutors. They also have their own network of people in the industry. So, they do invite them to come and speak to you, so you understand exactly what skills they're looking for, how to get in the door of that industry and make your first impression. Okay, so let's talk about teaching. So our teaching is very industry focused. Okay, so you'll see a lot of industry-based projects. You'll see a lot of practical elements to the course, lots of seminars, practical workshops. So I want to ask Anusha, did you notice something about our class size being quite small compared to Malaysia?
Yes. Oh my god, I've talked to my friends about this so many times. I love that the class size is a lot smaller because for me personally, I would say I have a lot of questions that I would like to ask my lecturers, and it takes me a while to understand something. So when the class sizes are this small, it's like a very healthy debate discussion like environment in class, and the lecturer just like joins in, and it doesn't feel like a very typical university environment, which I personally love. So yeah, I really like the size of the classes.
That's great. What about you, Natasha? How does it compare to back home, the class size and the environment, the atmosphere of the class?
Yeah, it's very conducive because it's only a maximum of 30 students, and right now in my course there are only 12 of us, so it's really very interactive, especially with our tutors. And the structure of the classrooms as well, like in these pictures, it's all white and with a very nice table and chairs. It looks so modern and conducive for learning. Well,
Mm-hmm.
as I said, in my previous university, it's quite old, as it's a state university as well, so there's some pros and cons, but it's really comparably new. UON is
Mm-hmm.
comparably new and modern. Yeah,
Yeah,
conducive as well.
absolutely. So yeah, when you come and study with us, you can expect to be getting involved in class. So you will have to kind of speak up and share your opinions, share your thoughts with your peers, ask questions. So it's very interactive in the classroom. Now, Anusha, can you share with us as a undergraduate student, like how many hours a week do you actually go to class?
Okay, so as an undergraduate student, so I go to class about 8 hours a week. So in my first semester, I had three modules. Two of them were in class, like activities and stuff like that. And each class, I had about 4 hours of classes each week. So in total, that was 8. And since I am doing my dissertation as well, I have a dissertation module that carries on from my first semester to my second semester. But that is more like on with my personal tutor.
Mm-hmm.
So that depends on how many times I do need to see my personal tutor. So sometimes I go weeks where like I see him 2 3 times a week. Sometimes I don't see him for 2 to 3 weeks if I'm like very sure on like the direction that I have to go to. So in that sense, yeah, that can be quite like flexible. But overall, I would say I have about 8 hours of class per week.
Lovely, nice. So what about you, Natasha, as a postgraduate student? Is it roughly the same or less or more?
Yeah, so for my first term, I only had to go to the uni at twice a week. With most of our modules is just around 2 to 3 hours per session. So I only had 4 modules last term, and I have 4 modules as well. These terms are just around 9 hours of lectures per week and
And
independent learning.
how easy is it to get in touch with your tutor, or if you need kind of outside class time?
Yeah, they're very supportive. They always say if you need anything, if you need any support or any one-on-one session, and they just email them and set an appointment, and they'd happily do that for us. Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah. So here are some pictures of the facilities that you can expect to see, depending on the course that you're applying or thinking of doing. We have dedicated art and design studios. We have Bloomberg Finance Lab, Moot Room, Hydra Suite, STEM laboratories, purpose-built clinical ward, because we do teach health courses as well. I can see here the psychology lab. Have you used that yet, Anusha?
No, I haven't, but I think if you come in your second year, you most probably will use it.
Okay, yeah. So
Yep.
we have lots of facilities, purpose-built facilities available, depending on the course that you are applying for. So yeah, that's great. And then the assessment. Let's talk about assessment. So I want to ask Anusha, how you assess most of the time? And a lot of international students are thinking, oh, is it exams? And they get scared by that. What are the assessment types that you are seeing right now?
Well, for me, I think because I'm in psychology, it's a lot like assignment based. So we don't have as many exams per se. Because out of like all the 4 modules I've taken, only one module is exam based. The other 3 are all like assignment based. And I would say when it comes to like doing assignments, you're kind of told about like what it is that they're expecting out of you by like the first week of classes. So you can already start talking to your lecturers, brainstorming ideas, literally from the very first week of classes. So it makes things very like stress-free, and you just feel a lot more comfortable with whatever it is that you're doing. And if you have any questions, you're a lot of the times like my lecturers, they even go through like past papers and stuff like that just to give us more like direction in case we feel very confused. Because as a psychology student, our topics are always very like widespread. So to narrow it down, they try to like give us as much support as we want. And you can literally see your lectures up to like the day before your assignment is due. So it makes things very easy. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's nice to hear that you feel like you're supported throughout the process, right? Not just get given a brief and then you left to it, right? So that's nice to hear. But yeah, how you are assessed and graded will depending on the course that you are following. So many courses are assessed through 100% coursework, some of it exams, or you have tests and exams, or they have essays or oral presentation, critical reviews, or you do pitches. Like in the picture right here, you pretend to pitch to your tutor and give your ideas on how you would solve real business issues, for example, or you do competition, national competition. So lots of different types of assessment that you can expect with us here at the University of Northampton. So let's talk about the fun stuff now, the student life. So we are mid-sized university, about 14,000 students, with around over 3,000 of those are international students from 140 countries. And some of you are probably thinking, well, how do I make friends? You're probably scared, you're probably shy, but there's so many ways that you can make friends here at the University of Northampton. We have 30 clubs and 40 societies to choose from, and all for free. And that is the best way for you to make friends, meet people from different countries, meet people that share the same interests as you. And I also hear from students as well that the best way is to also live in the dormitories or the halls of residence, because you get to share with 8 other friends who will, you then share your life with them, share food, help support each other. That I heard students when they're sick, they get looked after by their flatmates and things like that. So I want to ask, Anusha and Natasha, do you stay in dormitories currently, or are you privately renting?
Well, I stay in a dormitory in campus.
Mm-hmm. And Natasha?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm staying in one of the halls in Scholars Green. Yeah.
Ah, nice. So both of you are on campus. So can you like share, maybe start with Natasha, how easy was it to meet people and how easy it is to make friends as an international student?
Yeah, so accommodation wise, it's really nice to share a kitchen with other international students from other countries. We get to know them more and get to know how they cook their food and talk about them and learn more about them as well. Yeah.
That's nice. So do you meet people from different countries? Like what countries are they from? Can you list a few?
So right now I have flatmates from Kenya, Vietnam, Nigeria, and India. Right.
Ah, nice. So you kind of like force yourself into it, right? Just like
Yeah.
sharing your culture.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. Is being here is to kind of step out your comfort zone. What about Anusha? Who are your flatmates currently?
Yeah, so I would say similar to Natasha, my flatmates are a mix of like international and local students. So I do have some that are coming from like neighboring cities and towns, and I do have some flatmates that are from like Canada, Philippines, Taiwan, Thailand, India,
Oh
Hong
wow.
Kong. So it's very diverse. And like you were saying earlier, I fall sick very often, and every time I'm sick, there is someone who likes to take care of me, which is really really sweet. Like they like to like cook, and then they'll be like, "Oh, I have some food left in the kitchen. Help yourself to it." So it's just really sweet, especially when you're really sick and you can't like the last thing on your mind is to cook something for yourself. So yeah, it's
Absolutely.
really sweet.
Yeah. I think that's really nice. It's like a supportive community in your dormitories or flats. And
Yeah.
if you feel like you need more, obviously you can't rely on your flatmates all the time, but there's a residential life team as well who are there 24/7 for you. Okay. And all of the international students are required to register with a GP as well if you get sick. So you can actually go and see a doctor as well. There is a doctor clinic surgery on our campus as well. But there are other doctor clinics that are around our campus too that you can register. So you don't have to use the doctor surgery on campus, but it is quite convenient to go there. What about other activities? Do you join any clubs and societies, both of you? Um, Natasha, do you
Um,
join any clubs, or Anusha? Yep, anyone.
okay, I can
Yeah.
go
So
first.
I'm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so in terms of clubs, I did join the Human Rights Society in campus.
Hmm.
So that was really nice. And I got to meet like a lot of like-minded individuals, and I got to learn a lot about like what's going on in the UK, outside of the UK. Um and it's really nice because you have this thing called socials every Wednesday. So you go out, you have fun, you get to like see the nightlife in Northampton, you get to like go around town, and you get to meet a lot of new people. And yeah, I just really like it. I feel like especially if you join any sort of like club or society, you will be fine. The first few weeks might be a little iffy, but you'll like be sorted. And after a few weeks, don't worry about it.
Yeah, you'll be a bit less shy, just kind of like, yeah, let's get in, have some fun,
Yeah,
isn't it? And what about you,
yeah.
Natasha? What about you, Natasha? Sorry.
Oh yeah. So I'm part of the climbing club and snow sports club. I'm really enjoying climbing at the Pinnacle Climbing Center and skiing with the snow sports club and doing
Oh,
socials with them
wow.
as well every week. It's really nice to make friends and just to enjoy. Yeah, taking a break from
Yeah,
academics every week. Yeah, and I also do
lovely.
I also do swim and self defense every Monday at the development hub.
Oh my
It's one of the
goodness.
society. Yeah,
Yeah, so interesting. That's something I'm actually interested in doing as
yeah.
well. So yeah, so that's lovely to see. And what about the Friendship International Students and Host? Has Anusha, have you ever gone to one of these events in your time?
No, so I haven't gone to this, but I have gone to Fish, which is
Hmm.
for international students.
Yeah, yeah, it's the
Yeah,
same. Yeah,
so
it's the same thing. Yeah. So
oh right,
what
okay,
we're talking
sorry.
about is
Yeah.
fish.
Okay, yeah.
I
Then I
guess
have. I
yeah, I guess you guys know it as fish, but it's actually
yeah.
shortened. It's actually short for Friendship International Students and Host. Yeah, but
Right. Okay,
yeah.
that makes sense. But yeah, I have gone, and they're very sweet, and the people who volunteer in it are really sweet too, and they tell you like about Northampton because they've been living here for such a long time. And it's just like a very like supportive group, and like it gives you some sense of community, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry to disturb. I think we have Afana finally here with us. So, Afana, can you
Oh,
hear us?
hi, Afana. Finally. Oh,
I can see here joining.
oh no.
No,
We can't.
probably
No.
some technical problems again.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Afana. But yeah, if Afana, if you could join us, just kind of say hi, interrupt us. That's fine. It would be lovely to hear from you. But yeah, let's carry on then. So yeah, Fish was started in 2006. It basically is a group or basically a club for international students at the university, and you can meet with them on every Monday. I think at 7 p.m. and they arrange lots of social events for international students, and sharing the culture and also sharing English traditions as well. They also run annual program of summer trips, so you can actually visit local places together, and they also can arrange a host stay at the weekend as well with a British family. So if some of you are interested, you can definitely inquire with them when you get here. So let's talk about money now. I'm sure a lot of students are really interested in this section here. So we always say to students, you can work part-time while you're studying with us for 20 hours a week. And there are lots of part-time jobs available. Now, some of the part-time jobs are available at the University of Northampton as well. So we heard about Natasha talking about the student ambassadorship, which is a role that is offered by the university. Basically, is a role to help promote, kind of spread the word about the university. So, Natasha, can you share a little bit more about how did you find this vacancy? What kind of process you went through, and kind of the pay as well, if you don't mind, like sharing the pay per hour and how much do you get a month?
Yeah, so I applied through. Oh yeah, so I think I heard about it through social media, and I applied through Unitemps,
Mm-hmm.
and I had an interview and a training before finally got getting on board. And then the pay, it's minimum. I right now it's 10.9 per hour.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I get 20-hour shift, sometimes I get 1 hour shift. It depends on the availability, and it's very competitive right now because there are a lot of student ambassadors competing for very few number of shifts. So it
Yeah.
depends if you get a shift. Yeah. And yeah, if we don't get a shift, there are other opportunities as well. As yeah, as just you said, there are a lot of opportunities in Unitemps and other
Yeah.
platforms as well. Yeah.
Exactly. So, and Unitemps basically is an agency that we run as a university, and we have an office in town. We have a website, unitemps.com, that you guys can go and see the type of jobs and vacancies that are available. Some students find jobs from other platforms as well, like Indeed.com, or they ask around their friends, right? Because that's the best way to find a part-time job, because your friends know of this job opening, or they tell their other friends, and then you can apply for it. In Northampton, there's lots of retail businesses and restaurants that you can go and approach to find a part-time job. What about Anisha? Do you have any part-time job at the moment? Are you working or just focusing on your studies?
I actually do have a part-time job. So I actually have two. One is a regular part-time job that I go to every either Friday or Saturday. It's at a bar in the town center itself, and the people there are so sweet because I feel like Northampton being such a small town, everyone kind of knows each other. So it's just a very like a great working environment. And yeah, so I usually work there either every Friday or Saturday. And then I also have a job under Unitemp, but they usually only reach out when they do need people. This is to work at the Northampton Saints, which is actually like a rugby team in Northampton. So usually when they do have a game, we go to the stadium and we just help out in terms of like pouring beer and like selling that. And yeah, so that's essentially how like the two part-time jobs that I do have.
Nice. Wow. So you're like kind of hustling, doing your own thing, making money, studying on the sides.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's great. So let's have a look at the budget then. So um, can you, like Anusha, can you tell me like how from the job that you're
Mm-hmm.
doing, that the income that comes in, how much of it goes towards kind of your living expenses? Or how much does it help you?
Okay, so I would say I roughly make about like 350 on a good month if I
Mm-hmm.
do work like part time as well as get my uni times job, and like I do save half of it because I feel like I'm quite lucky enough that my parents do support me still. So I do end up saving half of my money, and the other half tends to go to like groceries and like if I want to get anything for myself or if I want to have like a nice meal with my friends. So yeah, I feel like I'm able to like divide it quite okay, especially with the amount of money that I do make. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's nice. So yeah, this is kind of a graph to show you what our recommended monthly budget living in Northampton. Now, Anusha and Natasha, you could tell me if this is realistic, but this is based on kind of our, our anecdotal kind of talking to students, based on our own experience as, people living in Northampton with a higher living cost right now. We have seen, food and rent and other things go up generally across the UK. Before we used to say it used to cost maybe £800 a month to live in Northampton. Now we kind of saying to student, let's budget a bit more, about 1,000 a month to cover for, all of these things that you see on screen. But how does that comparable to you, Natasha, as a postgraduate student? Like, how much do you spend a month, if you don't mind sharing with us?
Yeah. So I'm actually only spending around £20 per week for my groceries and food.
Oh
So
wow.
that would be, yeah, because I can buy a lot. Yeah, that's fruits and meat, and yeah,
Mhm.
rice, oats, already milk, and
Mhm.
that's for me for a week. So that's just around 80 per
Mhm.
month, 80 to 100, because I find cooking by myself cheaper than buying food
Yeah.
outside. I only treat myself when I get shifts, and yeah,
Yeah.
just buy something. And for rent, yeah, here in Scholars Green, yeah, it's around 350 per week as of last year, but the prices have increased now, so that's roughly around 400 to 500 right now.
Mhm. Mhm.
Gym, clothes, health, beauty, social. Yeah, that would depend on your
Yeah.
lifestyle. Yeah, so a gym I pay 15.99 at Crips. I go swimming and work out there a month, so you only give 15.99.
Yeah.
And clothes, it depends as well where you buy. You can buy cheap ones at Primark, or you can buy good ones in Uniqlo or somewhere if you want. Beauty, it depends as well how you use. Entertainment, not so much. I just do socials with climbing club or snow sports
Yeah.
club. It usually buy drinks and food once a week, yeah, or
Yeah.
twice a week, pretty much. But I think 1,000 is too much for me. You
Mhm.
can definitely spend less than that. Yeah.
Yeah, so nice to hear that you could actually spend less than 1,000, because that's what we kind of see in the past few years, that people actually, or students do actually spend less than 1,000. But we kind of just say, because
Yeah.
of the higher cost of living, inflation right now, I think best is it's best to maybe budget 1,000 just in case. And if you come under that, that's absolutely brilliant. Good for you. You can save money and go traveling, right? What about Anusha? From your experience, do you spend about that much or less than that?
I think the way I spend money is very similar to Natasha. So I would say
Mm.
everything like she stated earlier, I completely agree. Especially
Hmm.
when it comes to like groceries and stuff, I would say I only spend about like 20, sometimes £25 per week on my meals. And sometimes they even last me for 2 weeks. So you can get a lot, honestly, for the price here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would say, yeah, I would say, yeah, maybe like the first few months that you're here, it is good to maybe have a higher budget. And then
Mm.
once you know like how much you do spend on a regular month, then maybe you can cut it down. And like, like I was saying, you can also like use that money for traveling. But yeah,
Yeah.
I do believe that you can spend less than £1,000 per month
Yeah.
generally, but it's good to
Definitely.
have that budget there at least.
Yeah, but I think the beauty of living in Northampton is that we're actually quite cheaper than most towns and cities, around 30% cheaper than UK average. That's why Adusha and Natasha are saying it's actually cost them less to eat, to live, to pay rent here, because we are, in terms of cost of living, 30% cheaper and 47% cheaper than London. So it's something that you might want to consider when you choose where you want to study and live in the UK, depending on the cost of living as well. So I just noticed we've got about 10 minutes left before our hours is up. It's been so much fun right now, so I didn't want it to end, but we have to kind of move on and actually give you some really useful tips now that you are an offer holder or applicant. Like, what are the next steps for you? So hopefully you've heard, you get a good idea now on what the student life is like, the money, the budget, everything else. But now, what are the next steps for you guys? Okay, so hopefully you have all applied by now. If some of you have not applied yet, please start applying as soon as possible. We are still open. Normally we close about June time. Sometimes we close earlier than that. We are getting a lot of applications at the moment. So I really encourage you to apply now. Once you have applied, you can, either get a conditional offer or unconditional offer from us if you meet the criteria. Hopefully by now you will have got advice from your agent if you're applying through agent. If directly, you would have been advised by our admissions on what documents we need from you. So if you meet the criteria or you meet partially the criteria or entry requirements, you will get an offer from us, conditional or unconditional. Now, if you are confident that you are going to meet or on your way to meeting your conditional offer, you can actually accept your conditional offer by paying the £7,000 deposit. If you have an unconditional offer, you can go ahead and accept the offer and pay the deposit as of now. And we really recommend that you pay your deposit and accept your offer within a month of your offer being issued to you. Because we really want you to get your accommodation in early. So once you have paid that deposit, you will be given a link to apply for your accommodation. If you haven't done that, you won't get a link, okay, to your accommodation. And accommodation, unfortunately, do go quickly at the university because it's quite competitive, it's popular. But don't fret if you don't find accommodation on our campus, because we do help you to find private accommodation as well. And we'll talk about accommodation in a minute. So once you have got your accommodation offer and you click accept, you paid £150 refundable deposit. Okay, then you go and then you can go ahead and concentrate on meeting your conditions, finishing your course, your degree course, your diploma, whatever you have to do to finish your A-level, your high school diploma, to get that condition sorted, or your IELTS. And then you can request a CAS letter, which is the CAS letter that you need to apply for visa. Then we ask that you have this much in your bank account for 28 days and don't touch it, because you need to show UKVI that you have that much money to support yourself during your time here. That's part of your visa. They may ask you for it or they may not. And then you apply for your student visa. Now, if you are applying with agent, you can go ahead and ask your agent to help you with your visa. If you're confident enough in yourself to apply for visa yourself, it's pretty self-explanatory on the government.co.uk, the gov.co.uk website. And then once you get your CAS, your visa, you go ahead and book flights. You pre-enroll online, you will get an email. You arrive during our welcome week, which is mid-September normally, and then you literally physically enroll yourself onto your program when you get here on campus. And teaching normally starts on the 25th of September or the week later, depending on your course. Okay, so I hope I've not kind of talked too fast on that, but we haven't got that much time left. So this will be recorded as well, so you can go back and have a look at it. But as you can see, so many steps to go through. So do things early as much as possible. We recommend that you accept your offer by end of May, so you have so much time left to sort all of these out. Okay, we'll take some questions at the end as well. So how do you then secure your place? You basically log into your portal, and you will see pay deposit here. Okay, that's how you accept and pay your £7,000 deposit. That will be deducted from your tuition fees, and the remaining tuition fee can be paid. Again, if you are a September starter, the first installment can be paid in January 2024, and another installment can be paid in April 2024. We can arrange for 3 installments if you like, but you have to talk to the income team directly. So lots of flexibility there. I want to ask Anusha, is that how you pay your tuition fee? Do you pay it all in one go, or do you do it in installments?
Since I am a scholar, like I am on the 50% scholarship, so I had to
Okay.
pay like the deposit beforehand, and then I only had to pay one more installment once I came into uni, like January of this year. So I didn't have to break it down into too many installments for me, luckily. So yeah.
Yeah, but you can kind of split it into installments, right? Like, deposit
Yes.
and then another payment. What about you, Natasha?
Yes.
How do you split out your payment? Can you hear me, Natasha?
Sorry, that was choppy. Can you say that again, please?
I was just asking, how do you pay your tuition fee all in one go, or do you split them into installments?
No. So I only paid 5,000 deposit last year, and I have 3 installments. No, 2. I paid one in January, and I have a due this month. So
Yeah.
that's 3 installments. Yeah.
Yeah. So gives you lots of flexibility in terms of paying in installments. So yeah, don't worry about the remaining tuition fee. Just pay the deposit so that you can get accommodation linked, so you can start booking your accommodation and carry on with the steps that we just talked about. We really recommend that you pay through the tuition fee deposit portal that I've shown you in the last slide. It will take you to this page where you have payment options. So you can then choose to pay using back payment, which is bank transfer. You must make sure that you put your student ID and your name or a payment reference number that we would give you when you choose back transfer. Or you can choose Convera, which is our preferred method. This is the safest, most affordable, quickest. You don't want your payment to get lost, so we really recommend that you choose Convera or TransferMate from the payment option when you click on here. Okay. Earlier, we talked about the accommodation, book your accommodation. This link will only be available to you, again, if you have paid 7,000 deposit and have a conditional and unconditional offer. You won't get this link if you haven't accepted your offer and paid this amount. So go ahead and do that now if you are holding an offer and you're thinking of joining us, because that will then give you access to this portal that then you can book your accommodation early and increase your chance of getting your accommodation. So I believe, Natasha, you stay in Scholars Green, right? You mentioned. Oh, Natasha's lost again. Hello? Hello? Oh, she's lost. Anyway, we'll talk about we'll talk to Anusha then. Anusha, are you staying in Waterside campus right now?
Yes, I am. I'm staying in Waterside campus.
Okay, so what's the typical rent then? What's the cost of your rent per week?
For me, it's 151 because I do have my own room with an ensuite. So yeah, so it's about 151 pounds per week.
Okay, and so you have basically 3 options if you want to stay with the university dormitory. So you have Waterside campus, which is right bang in the middle of the campus, town centre, which is about 5-minute walk, or Scholars Green, which is about 30 minutes bus ride to Waterside campus. It's a free bus Monday to Friday. You will get like a specific card that gives you access to the free bus ticket. Otherwise, I think it's 50p per like single trip to town on Saturday and Sunday and Monday to Friday. Okay, so here are just the prices per week that you can expect to pay depending on the room type. If you don't want to stay on campus, we do help students to find private accommodation too. We have a private accommodation team that will help you. So we really recommend you reach out to them before you sign any contract, pay deposit to any private landlords, so that they can help you check the contract properly, so you don't find yourself in a difficult situation. So here are the room. I think, Anusha, does your room look like this? This is the on-campus waterside accommodation?
Okay, sorry. I think my laptop is lagging a little bit, so I'm not able to like. Oh, okay, okay, I can
Oh.
see it now. I can see it now. But yeah, this is essentially how my room looks like. But mine's just a slightly bit bigger because I think there's two variations of the ensuite. But it's yeah. At the end of the day, it does look like this.
Yeah, yeah. It's just a pretty typical room on Waterside
Yep.
campus. You can see it's quite new. But yeah, if you apply early, there's more chance of you getting that. Or there's another choice, which is the town centre campus. Town centre accommodation, St John's. This is an ensuite single bed as well. You get your own little ensuite bathroom, toilet, shower, and then you share your living room, your kitchen with other flatmates. And then I'm not sure if Natasha's still there. Maybe we have lost her. But yes, I think Natasha says she stay at Scholars Green accommodation here. So it's just a quick snapshot of what Scholars Green looks like. So this is a 20 minutes bus ride away. The rent is a bit cheaper. So if you're on a budget, this is a great option. Okay. And then lastly, just want to kind of remind you about CAS documents. So if you are ready, you already paid your deposit, you have unconditional offer, you're ready to go. The next step is to get CAS document. So you can request that on our portal. And then from then on, you will be guided through different steps to get your CAS. So give us maybe a couple of weeks to get your CAS out because we work on a queuing system, first come, first served. When we do have lots of application as well. So do give us some time, but we aim to get your CAS out as soon as possible. We ask that you don't chase us until maybe 2 or 3 weeks have passed. If you want to get in touch with us, then do email in to kind of get an idea of where your CAS is. Only if a few weeks have passed. Okay, so just give us some time and we will get to that as soon as possible. And yeah, that's it, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Please do follow us on social media. We have, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, our handle just there. I really hope that you come and join us in September. I just want to say thank you to Anusha as well and Natasha for joining us. Thank you for giving us your time. And if you want to join more events like this, please look, check out our upcoming events page as well and register. But any other questions, please feel free to email me and WhatsApp me as well.
Cantaros, thanks for the presentation. I think a guest, a student, have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he or she like to ask about the small family accommodation. So is it possible for him to get an accommodation for the whole family?
So as I mentioned, we do have private accommodation team. So it's accommodation team. They look after private accommodation. They can help you find suitable accommodation that has enough space for you and your family. So I would really recommend that you get in touch with the accommodation team. The email, we will always email all of this information to all of our offer holders and applicants, anybody who accepted our offer. So we will get that in email through our ecoms kind of series. So to answer your question, we don't have our own accommodation on campus that can accommodate a family, but we do help you to find accommodation for your family privately. Okay. Anybody else want to ask any questions? No worries. You're welcome. So I want to take this opportunity to thank Natasha again and Anusha for giving us your time today. It's been super helpful to get an insight into your life, and I hope that you kind of graduate and leave the university with positive experience for a lifetime, make lots of friends, and enjoy your time as much as possible while you're here. So thank you,
It
guys.
was a pleasure. Thank you
Thank
so much too
you.
for it.
That's so sweet of you.
All right, and so sorry, Afana, you're not able to join. We're,
Yeah, what a
oh,
shame.
I know, would have loved to meet her.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll get in touch with Afana later on. Okay. So if no other questions, we will end here. So yeah, thank you, Natasha and Nusha again. Hope to see you on campus. Have a good week.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you,
See you. Have a good week
everyone.
too.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Have a great week,
Bye.
Bye.
guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.